Hi there, I'm Emma. I'm 22 years old, and I'm currently in college, juggling classes and the chaos of young adulthood. 6 months ago, I ended a long-term relationship that had become more of a comfort zone than a romance. Since then, I haven't really found anyone who sparks my interest. I'm focusing on myself, but let's be honest, it can get pretty lonely. But trust me, this story is about to get hot. I've been living with my roommate, Jake, for a year now. He's 24, a fellow student, and he's always had this charming smile that makes my heart race. We've been friends for a while, and I've noticed the way he looks at me, like he's been waiting for the right moment to make a move. Now that I'm single, I can't help but wonder what might happen if we cross that line. We've shared countless late-night conversations, laughs, and moments that felt charged with something more. Today, as the sun poured through our apartment windows, I could feel the tension in the air. Jake and I spent the whole day together, lounging around, watching movies, and stealing glances that lingered just a little too long. I could feel the chemistry crackling between us, and it was hard to ignore. Our playful banter turned more flirtatious, and I could sense we were both dancing around something we had both wanted for a long time. As the afternoon faded into evening, the atmosphere shifted. We found ourselves sitting so close on the couch that I could feel the warmth radiating from him. I could see the desire in his eyes, and it mirrored what I had been feeling deep down. I was ready to explore this new dynamic between us, ready to see just how far it could go. As night fell, our apartment transformed into a cozy haven, the soft glow of lamps casting shadows on the walls. Jake suggested we order some takeout, and I eagerly agreed. The anticipation hung in the air, thick with unspoken words and lingering glances. While we waited for our food, we decided to play a game, truth or dare, just to pass the time. At first, it was all laughter, light teasing, and harmless fun. But as the dares grew bolder and the truths dug deeper, the atmosphere shifted, heavy with the tension I couldn't ignore. Jake never missed an opportunity to push my buttons, his eyes locked on mine as he asked questions that made me blush or threw out dares that left me cornered. "If you're scared, just say so," he teased, his voice dripping with playful arrogance, the kind that made my pulse race. When it was his turn, Jake leaned in closer, his tone dropping to a low, suggestive murmur. "I dare you to kiss me." The world seemed to fall silent as my heart pounded in my chest. It was meant to be a joke, a challenge, but the way he looked at me, with an intensity that burned, made it feel like so much more. The air between us crackled, and for a moment, I forgot it was just a game. I hesitated, my mind racing. This was crossing a line I had never dared to approach before. But the pull between us was undeniable. I leaned in, our lips barely brushing before he closed the gap, capturing my mouth with his. The kiss ignited a fire within me, making me forget everything else. It was soft at first, a tentative exploration, but quickly deepened as we lost ourselves in the moment. I could feel his hands threading through my hair, pulling me closer, and I responded by wrapping my arms around his neck, surrendering to the heat that enveloped us. Just then, the doorbell rang, breaking the spell. We pulled apart, breathless, our faces flushed. I couldn't help but laugh nervously as I got up to answer the door, feeling the tension still crackling between us. After dinner, we settled back on the couch, the air thick with unspoken feelings. We chatted about everything and nothing, but my mind kept drifting back to that kiss. I could see Jake glancing at me, his blue eyes searching mine, and I knew he felt it too. As the night wore on, I suggested we watch a movie, anything to distract us from the undeniable chemistry simmering just beneath the surface. But as the credits rolled, I caught him staring at me, and in that moment, the world outside faded away. Jake shifted closer, his knee brushing against mine, and I could feel the heat radiating from him. "I've wanted to kiss you for so long," he admitted, his gaze intense. The vulnerability in his eyes made my heart race even faster. "I wanted it too," I confessed, my voice barely above a whisper. The air between us felt charged, electric, as though we were standing on the edge of something monumental. Without needing to say another word, he reached out, his fingers tracing my jawline, sending shivers down my spine. I leaned into his touch, craving more of his warmth. Our lips met again, this time with a fervor that took my breath away. It was no longer just a kiss, it was a promise of everything we had been holding back. His hand slid around my waist, pulling me closer until I was straddling his lap, our bodies pressed together. The kiss deepened, becoming more urgent, more desperate. I could feel his heartbeat, matching my own, as if we were two flames igniting in the night. "Let's take this further," he murmured, his breath hot against my ear. My heart raced at his words. I nodded, unable to find my voice, consumed by the heat of desire that enveloped us. We moved to my bedroom, where the soft glow of the lamp created an intimate atmosphere. As soon as we entered, he backed me against the wall, his lips crashing against mine with an urgency that made my head spin. The night was ours, and I felt liberated, free to explore this new side of our relationship. Our hands roamed, discovering each other's bodies with a mix of urgency and tenderness. I could feel the heat radiating from him, and every touch ignited a fire within me. As we fell onto the bed, the world outside vanished, leaving nothing but the two of us and the chemistry that had been waiting to burst forth. We spent the night wrapped in each other's arms. The boundaries we'd once had melted away as we gave in to the desires we had both suppressed for too long. As dawn broke, illuminating the room with a warm glow, I realized that this was just the beginning of something beautiful. We were no longer just friends, we had crossed a threshold into a new chapter, one filled with passion, exploration, and endless possibility.